welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. The Bitcoin 103,000 American dollars. We are cranking. The green candle has pretty much confirmed out of this bottom now. The monthly structure is now heading towards the high. We are going to be getting very, very high in the next 3 months, but I don't know what happens after that. Ethereum wakey has finally started to remind us it's kind of slightly less of a scam now, but still a total scam, $2,100, friends. As I am rounding it down, the prices, this is still horrific. This is nothing. I guess, yay, good. We kind of went back. You shouldn't even be down here. Like, by the end of last year, you shouldn't have even been $4,000. You should have been more like $7,000 last year based off everything, but it is what it is. I guess you're not going to zero. Congratulations, okay? I'm going to go through some other ratios here with you. This is the ETH-BTC ratio. It is now slightly up the month of Marwai. This is it. And look, friends, I'm just going to show you another thing. You know, like all over Twitter, you're going to see this chart. You're going to see, I've seen charts like this, okay? Actually, charts like this, right? This has been the past horrific few periods. Now, this is the sad part. This is, I'm not joking. This is from like October last year. Now, I'm just being honest, right? In these charts, even if you reverse the whole thing up, do you know that you are still 20% down from the Ethereum spot ETF release? Right? So look at it. That's how pathetic it is. Even if you literally went up only, you reverse that whole move. And it might actually do that, by the way. It might literally just do that and come back here. But this is a terrible ratio. And the ETH-BTC, look at this. On the spot ETF, it was 0.057. And by the way, that was low. Yeah, that was low. We did have the Ethereum Pectra upgrade now. It's officially come in, the Ethereum Pectra upgrade. That Pectra upgrade, remember now I guess it allows websites, you got to be careful. They can do multiple transactions with a swap. So you can do an approval and a transaction, but you got to be super careful because if it's fast, it's like not wearing your seatbelt. So yeah, we can make stuff faster now, but yeah, you don't, like if you click the wrong thing, it's literally, there goes your money. Okay, so you have to be super careful when it comes to these. That's why, look, in crypto, friends, I'll just tell you right now, as an overwhelmingly correct statement, nobody's building shit. Everything's a scam. 99.9% of stuff that people are trying and building and think is cool, it ain't cool. It's bugged. It can lose you all your money. It can grant access to the wrong person, give you a Trojan. It's all trash. It's all scam. Okay? Yeah, guess what? Out of the 500 things, something's going to be cool. But you know what you can do? Let the other 3,000 people guinea pig test it first, and then you can come in later on. There is no free money lurking around. Absolutely not. Okay? You just go to the main websites. For example, if you're on Ethereum, use like Uniswap or 1inch, okay? Better to use 1inch because you can get all the liquidity sources. That's what I do. If you're on PulseChain, use the PulseX website. You can also use the 9x aggregator, 9x.9mm.pro, or you could use pulseswap.io. There's app.pateus.io. You know, there's swapping stuff out here, okay? Just be careful with absolutely everything else, friends. Be careful of downloading anything, and I'm warning you now, as Bitcoin now is above $100,000, and yeah, we are going to crank. But now, this is where all these sophisticated scammers, they come out and they use their evil brains for literally satanic stuff in the world. So what you're going to see is, you know, like Google Chrome extensions and random stuff that seemingly has nothing to do with crypto. They will have carefully placed Trojans and backdoors in there to steal crypto from people, even though they're not crypto, they're not targeting crypto people, okay? You know, this actually happened, I think, last year. Google Chrome store, they had to remove some like random extensions. Like, oh, this thing just like, you know, like just for example, imagine like you just have a Chrome extension that lets you just highlight text on your page, right? Something so simple like that. They had a Trojan in it and it would search your, it basically gives someone backdoor and then people were losing crypto off that, you know? So that's what you have to be super careful of. And I've got to warn that to you now, just so you're aware, literally, friends, everything's trying to take your money. Friends, don't use MetaMask on your phone. I know a lot of you do. I don't personally use it. I don't even have it installed. Okay, I do not trust it. Any of this phone stuff, you can be super careful because you literally waited 4 years, and yes, you can lose money in a click of a button. Okay, checking out the rest of crypto though, the Bitcoin dominance is still gargantuanly huge on the monthly channel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green candles. Maybe with the month of March, it's going to finally turn around red. You still have Ben Copen, who believes this thing's going to go all the way up to 70%. And then you have Crypto, and everyone's going to be like 70%. They're all going to keep calling for it. So what you've noticed now is these people, they don't change. No one changes their mind. It's even though they like claim to change their mind, they don't. They like wait for a big turnover, then they wait to change their mind. Most people just don't change their mind, friends. So what we noticed is as Bitcoin dominance got to their targets, they're like, oh, I think Bitcoin dominance is going to go to like, near 60%. It came here. And then they're like, you know what? No, let's make it 65. It actually got to 65. What have they said? Oh, now it's going to 70. And I'm just watching them and I'm like, man, that's like, just like it's just strange, right? For people who statistics and, quant nerds and like, Excel spreadsheets and like NASA science stuff, we know we're all human, but it is funny just to see as it gets there, like you go, oh, they just raise the target again. Because everybody does that, but it's just funny to see like even people with like mathematical models and financial risk analysis stuff, like they still do it. Everybody does it. They're like, oh, I'm going to raise it, right? Just like with traders and stuff, everybody like moves their stop. Yeah, they're like, oh, I don't want to take my stop out here. I'll just move it, give it a bit more room. It's kind of funny how it all plays out. Now, if we check out the total crypto market cap, this is others. Others, finally, thank God, you piece of crap. You are starting the reverse up. Notice, see this red box, friends? This is meant to be our Bitcoin, like our crypto pumping year. Every year we just went up only from the start. This one, the first 5 months have been horrific. We went down only, actually. See, every year in the post-Bitcoin halving year, went up and up and up and up. But that was the business cycle. Okay, business ISM, back in the past 3 crypto cycles, it was only in the red, as I've famously pretty much taught everybody about. I actually love seeing, friends. Ivan talks about it now. Literally I watch random YouTubers, they talk about it. I'm like, huh, didn't know you were watching. Or maybe someone said it to me. It's just funny. I like seeing stuff like that. It comes around. Because guess what, friends? That comes around, bro. Wait till you see this. Wait till you see this crank. Wait till you see the God candles coming up here, right? So you want to be here, you want to act like a hard CUNT? Well, guess what, man? Guess what? Yeah, it's kind of funny what they do, friends. They pick and we all do this, by the way. It's like you look at something like, oh, I'm just going to pick and choose the good parts that I like, that I want to hear. And I'm like, no, bro, do you understand all of this leads to the contrarian cult train? All paths lead to that. You don't get a world, bro, where your thing hits its highest fib extension and then the contrarian chain, the cult chain, doesn't have its day in the sun with ultra thin liquidity, with 170,000 Ethereum sitting in a sacrifice treasury, with the founder owning more Ethereum than Vitalik, with the founder owning more Bitcoin than Michael Saylor. That's right. Now, no, not MicroStrategy, but personally Michael Saylor. Okay, so you don't get a world where this thing just disappears and you get to ignore it and you'll never hear about it ever again. I'm just warning you. That's what it comes down to. Now, it is a mog or get mogged world. We already know that. We're very, very aware of that. This is the business ISM cycle. So what you're going to see now, friends, is notice how Bitcoin's price action, it's leading for the business confidence. Okay, so now actually see how Bitcoin's up 102K. I can almost guarantee you the next business ISM reading that's going to come in maybe, in literally a month, maybe in a few weeks, maybe the end of March, right? The last week of March, maybe it's going to be printing higher than 48.7. We might see it like curl up back to like 49 or 50 or something, right? Okay, and then maybe even the next one, depending on how Bitcoin goes, might even hit like 51.55. Now, a lot of people as well, the whole notion of having an extended cycle or not is very controversial. Because obviously it's always 50-50 to it. But my main case, there is a case for an extended cycle, and that is that we haven't hit business ISM 52 yet. Whenever we hit 52, right, we had low end 10 months to go for our crypto cycle, not stock market. The stock market rolls over after that, okay? We go first. We pump harder, then we dump faster, okay? So because people are pricing in the future more, and it's thinner liquidity in crypto, if you want to know why. That's why we go up, like we run out of buyers faster, but the stock market still has a DCA Ponzi money. So that's where you want to, the stock market, S&P 500 has $60 billion per month coming in of like, just random waiters and random bank tellers and like nurses and doctors who are just DCA buying every month for like their retirement and their pension. That's like creating a big bid for them and literally everybody around the world, not just in Americana, everybody around the world is DCA buying the S&P 500 too. Okay, so that's why crypto, we don't have that. But you don't want that. If we get that world, yeah, maybe Bitcoin's much higher, but the growth rates are gone, pretty much. The growth rates are much less. We're not seeing 10, 50x's anymore, you know what I mean? So business ISM has not hit 52. Low end was 10 months. High end was 18 months for the Bitcoin top, you know? That's why even if you take the worst case, yeah, if business ISM, friends, literally clocks 52 literally next month and you run for 10 months, that's still going to put us in Q1 of next year. It moves into 2026 where the Bitcoin top happens, you know? There is a case, though, to be made where I'm just going to show you now. So there is a case where we have a super fast rise in business ISM, which it will also be represented in OTHERS-btc. And obviously we haven't even started the candle for this, but it would be in this fashion, friends, where OTHERS-btc literally has, see how we had 5 green months in a row here, and then in 2017 we had 6. Okay, I'm just going to assume we're going to do 6. We do Mawai green, Juni green, Julie green, August green, Rectember green, Cocktober green. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Maybe November ticks up and then finishes red. But if you look at it, that would literally put OTHERS-btc all the way up to 62%. That's the high point. And so if you draw this chart line out, it looks like it's going up over there. That's what's pretty much looks like that's what's happening over time, where altcoins are gaining on Bitcoin slowly over time. However, friends, I've just shown you, hey, is it possible? Here's the thing, okay? The truth is, friends, for some reason in crypto, some of this time stuff, it's not meant to work in the science and the economics papers, but it works in crypto. Where I'm trying to make a case for, is there a case where we just sell everything in December? Because it's the year's done, okay? So in crypto, these super simple retailer things, they work, man. If you go to every other cycle, if you literally just sold everything December 2013, December 2017, December 2021, okay? Yeah, it's not the perfect top or the perfect, maybe there's a move right after, but if you're just literally just getting rid of stuff, you win. That's why I'm trying to think about, hey, what if that happens again? That's actually the real 4-year cycle stuff, right? From the global liquidity. So is there a case where we just sell December? Well, we'll see. We'll see. You know, that's if I showed you these moves, bro, we need we don't even have to worry about that. We can start talking about it in end of July if we get Mawai green, Juni green, and Julie green in a row for OTHERS-btc. If we have 1, 2, 3, I'm oh wow, we might be selling by the end of the year. But guess what? Every month that plays out, if there's one red, it resets. Just to show you. Yeah, if there's literally one red candle, friends. One red candle just resets stuff. Right? Because that's altcoins, right? Altcoins, you need every traffic light to go green. So that's why it's all about the weakest hands coming in, right? The weakest hands coming in, friends, when they come in, they see everybody else making money, but when you have repetitive green monthly candles, they can't take it anymore. They got to jump in, right? So after 3 green monthly candles, okay, you've started the first wave of the early retailers, pretty much. Whoever buys a monthly green candle number 4, you get the first wave of retailers. And then if we continue, you have the 5th one, watch out, super watch out, okay? Because there's a case where it stops on 5, and there's also a case where it stops on the 6th green monthly candle. And that's people they're whoa, you've been making money for 4 months. And yeah, I've made a 3x already or 4x in 2 weeks. That's that type of stuff out here. And that's the only way we can basically usher in a bear market. Yeah, because you need those people come in, they don't sit on bids. None of them use limit orders. They just hit market. And that disconnects the market from fair value, and they pile on each other, and it morphs on top of each other. And that's eventually how we get what we call the traditional blow-off top, even though it doesn't have to look like a blow-off top based off just how big crypto is now. Now, having a quick peek at macro, this is the S&P 500. It is at least not coming back down for that ding-dong area as well. And this is the global liquidity chart with Carlin Talks Crypto. So Carlin Talks Crypto's chart here, we have it here. It's very nice to see Bitcoin up there. It's nice, friends. Remember, we were guessing if Bitcoin could do this nice stab up to the high. I literally said it yesterday before it starts doing that screw around thing. And then maybe it's really by the end of May. This is actually, it's funny, we're in June already. And then we actually start moving up next month, screw around and do this. This is 3 months of up only. Mawai, Juni, and then Julie, and then we'll see what happens after that point, right? You know, if obviously the market doesn't care what you and I want, doesn't care, but it would be I'll just tell you now, okay? The longer it makes us wait, the richer we all get, okay? Even though, like, it's been so long. I know when you say that, by the way. We're like, oh, that's cool. But, yeah, it's, you know, in crypto, you don't get the staircase, right? So when we think, oh, make us wait long, as in I'll only make 10% per month. No, bro. Sad. It's more like, no, you stay down 95% for forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and it's never going to go up. It's never going to go up. And then it starts going up. That's what it is. That's altcoins, man. That's just how they move, you know? That's actually how the biggest alt seasons happen as well. Everything just stays there, but you don't know that, okay? So that's why a lot of people ask me, Sommi, do you regret, like, being here and doing this? Didn't you just want to say, full Bitcoin allocation this whole time? No, bro. No. I guarantee you next cycle, altcoins are running early. I guarantee you next cycle, altcoins are running early. Okay, there's no guarantees, like, almost just guaranteed, dude. Just literally guaranteed. Just after everything it's put us through, they run early next time. Okay, because this one is like, oh, look, because friends, we all came to the same conclusion. Every single person said, we all said the same thing. I'm never touching an altcoin again. Ethereum's a scam. I want Bitcoin maxi position only. I'm never touching altcoins again. And the most I'll ever buy altcoins, maximum 5% of my portfolio. Maximum. And I'm only going to do it after the Bitcoin halving year. Or in the Bitcoin halving year. That's literally all of us had the same conclusion. Now, here I am thinking, I've had that conclusion first. Okay, because me 18 hours a day, I'm like, I'm going to keep my secret to myself. And then I'm like, wait a minute. Steve and Chris and Tom and Jerry and Sam and everybody else and Mrs. Bubbles and Mr. Bubbles. I'm like, oh my gosh, we all have the same conclusion. So I'm thinking, oh, wow, if we all have the same conclusion, definitely hundreds of millions of other crypto people are having the same conclusion as well. That's why I've been just also warning, super be careful about trying to be a hero and fade Bitcoin dominance once it starts, when it does that. Just really be careful here. Okay, yeah, there's some level thing here. When this thing comes here, I'm just saying, just be careful. Yeah, it might come back up here. Oh, wow, I'm just saying, just be careful, all right? Because I'm telling you, every single person wants Bitcoin. And then I've been telling you, bro, do you understand what Bitcoin is? Do you actually understand what it is? It doesn't do anything. It literally sits on the shelf. It doesn't do anything. Now, granted, most stuff in this world don't do anything, but it literally doesn't do anything. So you are betting that Michael Saylor will continue to be able to shield Bitcoin for a high growth rate for a while. And here's the thing, bro. I'm just telling you now, friends. I know they're institutions and they have billions of dollars and they have whiteboards where they have a water cooler and stuff. I get it. I'm just telling you now, friends. They are not as diamond testicled as me or you and your diamond ovaries. They are not, okay? They do not know a world where Bitcoin is getting cucked by altcoins. They don't know that world. They don't even look at Bitcoin dominance. They think it's an ancient ratio. I'm not making it up, okay? They think it doesn't apply. So, you know, I'm actually making this, I'm not making this up, friends. You know when Bitcoin dominance was going down, all right? Do you want to know what Michael Saylor was saying in 2021? He goes, that's a debunked, a useless ratio. He goes, because you're measuring Bitcoin, the world's purest form of money, to these crypto shit coins, which shouldn't have any place in it. He says this thing is its own thing. He said their real Bitcoin dominance is Bitcoin versus Bitcoin Cash. I'm not joking. He goes, that's the real Bitcoin dominance, and it's 99%. Because BCH to BTC ratio is only 0.01 or less. Okay, he's basically said, oh, that's pretty much it. Actually, I'll show it to you now. And I've actually constructed it here for you right now. If you want to know this, friends, this is the code you'll type in. All right, you just pause the video. It's the market cap of Bitcoin divided by adding Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash. And if you want, you can add BSV. This is literally it, friends. That's Michael Saylor and Max Kaiser, Bitcoin Maxis. That's their Bitcoin dominance. This is the chart. They don't look at altcoin. They're like, no, you guys don't exist. This is literally their dominance. They go, oh, wow, look at this. See, it's near 100%. See, that's 0.996. There you go. They go, oh, see, it's moving towards 1. It's 100% Bitcoin dominant. You see, that's literally, they just quickly morph for reality. But yeah, look, you can have that view. I'm just telling you, you're going to have a very, very tough time when you have stuff like XRP gaining adoption, Cardano, PulseChain, and all these things growing. And then like you realize, oh, people here for the purest form of money. No, bro. They're here for the purest form of gains. That's what they're here for. Okay. So yeah, I've got to repeat, friends, all those institutions with that Bitcoin dominance, okay, all of them, they're mostly, like I'm using the word frauds, but I've made this chart here. They're gonna change their paradigm. They go, no, you're competing on something else. You're competing on a store of value, blah, 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 blah. It's just going to be that same stuff, okay? You're going to watch. This is why I want you to pay attention when this happens, because you just keep this in your mind, okay? You'll be like, oh, I thought you were smart. You guys got billions of dollars. You guys got big boards and SEC clarity and big banks, and you do all this. You know nothing more than retailers hopping on momentum. Yes, my friends, okay? And that's why the biggest Ponzi collapses in crypto that we see, they're just reflecting what happens in the real world as well. People just take on too much leverage. They just get too smart, okay? The biggest leverage, the worst one, comes from the smartest people because they convince other people. They're very convincing to convince other people, give me more money. It's going to work. Give me more money. That's why the Michael Saylor thing, it's going to thrust us up really high. And just got to be careful, bro. Got to be careful. Now, the good thing is his average price is still below $100,000. So his average price is now 68,500. So I look forward to seeing it at over 100K because that means the price is probably like 200 to 250, and then we might be entering the danger zone. Having a quick check at the look of the PulseChain altcoins, friends. It's nice to see a bit of a pumpy pump. Is it really a pump though? A couple of percentages moving around. Ethereum, friends, has had a whopper of a move as well. So Ethereum, remember the CME gap it's got to get back to is at 2,600. So look at this. This is a giant, man. It's been such a long time. Could you believe Ethereum could move? It actually went up 21% in a day. Because it's such a vicious manipulation, scam, soy latte type of move down. I don't know where the next, obviously, move is going to be. I don't think it does something like this, but hopefully we go back to this 2,600. Just to let you know as well, the biggest amount of shorts are at 3,000. Okay? The largest amount of shorts, you can tell by the volume node, it's around all exchanges. They've been holding 3,000 for a long time as well. These people, yes, it's also on CME as well. CME has a record number of shorts. All these people out here. But yeah, we got a long way to go for Ethereum. Friendly reminder as well, remember friends, Richard Hart has more Ethereum than Vitalik. So like he really wants Ethereum to go up, okay? And we do as well. A lot of people still feel like, I know, man, you feel like strange. You're like, oh, why we talk about it? Just like, bro, I'm not gonna look. I get it. Okay, most people don't pay attention. You're gonna get cucked. Step aside. For the rest of us, Ethereum is just the best, most solidified proxy, which means representation of the business cycle, confidence hitting crypto. Okay, that's what it is. So Ethereum going up, we're like, oh, business ISM's going up, right? But if you just check one altcoin, oh, XRP went up, doesn't really reflect anything. That's cherry picking. Okay, Ethereum is the number one altcoin. It's got all the stable coins. It's got Rocco Negra in there. Trump owns it. Okay, so I think it's very obvious there. Now, on our journey, friends, I've got to remind you, not only are we going to make it, but we're going to crush it. Because the tide is changing, finally. But yeah, still remains to be skeptical. We're like, hey, Sommi, we went down for 5 months. We're just going to go up for 3 months. No, we don't know that. Let's see how the fractals and stuff play out. This is the news that's coming out, friends. President Trump said the golden age of America is coming. Which is interesting. Got some funny quotes from me, bro. This is so funny. So, President Trump says the golden age is coming. Coinbase as well, friends. They actually bought Deribit, okay, which is $2.9 billion transaction. So they bought Deribit is the biggest crypto options trading platform. So you know, a lot of you friends, I'm warning you right now. Please, for the love of God, don't do options. You will get caned. Okay, don't do options, bro. You want risk? We got risk. It's called altcoins. It's called spot altcoins. Okay, and they don't have a time decay when it comes to this stuff. Okay, don't touch these options. Okay, leave it for the losers and the nerds. Okay, losers in people who just want to gamble on something extra. Please, I know, friends. I saw it once on Crypto Band's show. He was doing options at the end. I was like, take that off. Get it off, bro. Get it off. There's no edge. Okay? There's not enough market makers in options, in crypto. And the ones that are in, they're all smart. And you pay very expensive prices. Because options are just insurance. I want insurance in case the price goes up. I want to buy insurance in case the thing goes down. Okay, they make you pay a big fat insurance premium. I don't know the price and stuff by default. But yeah, it's not like, oh, I want to bet on Bitcoin going up. Yeah, it might make you pay like $2,000 for the insurance for one Bitcoin, right? So you like need Bitcoin to clear $104,000 before you're in profit. No, even more, 105. See what I mean? So, and also on the way down, like it's funny. These people aren't stupid. It's like, hey, I want to buy insurance in case, Ethereum crashes below $1,000 in the next 12 months. And they're like, oh yeah, here you go, sir. What's the price of Ethereum? It's like 2,100. Okay. it'll only cost you a nice little sum of $600 per Ethereum if you want that. You know what I mean? Like they make you pay a big fat premium to do that. I'm sure it's getting better over time. But if you're curious as well, friends, so options is how extremely large players can exit. Okay, so that's what you end up doing. So this is the thing, but you need money to pay for the insurance. So like, let's say, friends, let's say someone had, I don't know, let's say someone had a portfolio. Let's say one person has a portfolio that got $10 million at the end. But let's say actually $2 million was Ethereum and they had like $8 million of like this illiquid coin. Maybe they're like, you know, one of the layer 2 token foundations or any of these other, you know, one of one of these VC coins, right? They got like $8 million of it and the market's high. There's not enough liquidity to exit. They can't actually all exit. So what they'll do is, okay, see how they got that Ethereum? I'm just using that as like real money. They'll sell part of the year. They'll buy insurance on Ethereum dropping in like the next 12 months. So they'll buy put options. They might spend, for example, like maybe they have a $10 million portfolio. They might spend a whopping like $500,000 or something on Ethereum dropping hard. Let's say Ethereum by that point, I'll just give you an example. Let's say Ethereum is like $10,000. All right, let's actually use a chart here. If Ethereum is $10,000, okay, and there's not enough liquidity exiting their coin, what they'll do is they'll buy a put up here. Remember, the put goes in profit as this thing goes down. Okay, so that's what they'll do. They'll buy a put. They're like, hey, I want to put for, you know, in case Ethereum goes below. And what they'll do is they'll try to guess. They'll be like, okay, if Ethereum goes below, you know, $6,000 in the next 12 months, my altcoin is down 99%. So I'm wrecked. So that's what they'll do. They'll buy the put on Ethereum on Ethereum with its strike price at $600. They go, hey, if Ethereum goes like below $600, then I'm cool, I'm sweet, or whatever it is. Okay. And then what happens is, so they'll be losing money. That's what happens, right? It's an insurance contract. So if that world does happen, so look, here's the thing: if Ethereum keeps going up, yeah, they've lost $500,000 of the insurance, but they can just keep selling their layer 2 altcoin, and they can just keep getting out over time. Okay, if that world happens, if Ethereum goes up, but if Ethereum goes down and crashes, well, guess what? They bought a put option up here. It would have been very expensive because it's priced of the volatility. And then they like get to protect themselves. They go, oh, thank God I bought that put. You know, maybe I lost $8 million almost of that altcoin leg, but you might have made like $6 million on the put. So you protected yourself, you know? So that's pretty much that's how people would use it. But like I said, you got to pay for the insurance as well when it comes to that. Because none of these market makers are going to accept any of your, obviously no one's going to accept your like illiquid coin to do any of these. Standard & Chartered Bank analyst apologizes for $120,000 BTC price prediction. And then he says the target may be too low, which is hilarious. Friends are already starting to say, friend, literally this is your friend Sommi day one. I go, bro. As the ball keeps going and the euphoria starts to build in, they just raise the target and then raise the target and then raise the target. It's literally just the opposite on the way down, isn't it? Remember on the way down, Bitcoin's going down. Oh, we hit there. No, it's going lower. No, it's going lower. No, it's going lower. Okay. It's the same thing. President Trump officially announces a new trade deal with the United Kingdom. So there you go, friends. Everybody in America, you will now have tea and crumpets at a very affordable price. President Trump says, you better go out and buy stocks now. That's my president. That's my president right there. I love this guy, man. It's just, he's literally, bro, just go do it. Man, do you want to know why he's doing it? Okay. They can see the accounts, bro. Okay. Do you know why he's saying that? Because okay, I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll tell you why. Friends, they've literally, who does this money printing? The government. Yeah. They have this government. Okay. When they do the money printing, there's a bit of a delay, 2 to 3 month delay. They print the money, it goes to another account, it goes to other big bank loans, it goes to these other companies. They end up buying the stocks, buying capital equipment and doing stuff out here, and the profitability goes up. So it seeps in. He's literally just saying to the pleb people, all of us, go buy stocks, bro. He's literally just telling you that. But because when you see it, because it's Donald Trump, he goes, buy some stocks, quite the stocks. Okay, because he doesn't hit you, but he's actually just telling you, hey, but they're all doing it. So what's the big problem, right? That's pretty much what he's relaying, right? President Trump says the stock market will really rally now. Kind of funny, man. He just kicked it into overdrive. There's something's coming. Something's coming. President Trump says major loser Fed Chair Jerome Powell won't cut rates because he's not in love with me. Let's watch this. Let's watch this.
The chairman of the Fed, Jerome, if he would lower interest rates like China did, like I think UK did, but like numerous other countries have done, it's like jet fuel. It'd be great. But he doesn't want to do it. I think he doesn't want to do it. Probably he's not in love with me. I think that's right. It's sort of a crazy reason, but that's the way life is. Anybody in his position would be it would be like jet fuel. But even without that, we're doing well.
I love that, man. Major loser. Trueflation, by the way, is down to 1.3%. So yeah, but if you're curious, Sommi, why is that happening? Probably the rates, friends, they're for pleb people. That's our rates. Yeah, they don't want us to go and buy stuff inflationary style, right? But they print money in the global liquidity stuff and they give it to the insider institutions. Okay, you know, the closer insiders, you get cheaper rates. They call it credit rating. Yeah, my ass, bro. You all print money and give it to each other. We're in credit rating. Like if I had a money printer and I just printed my own shitcoin and I gave all my friends all the shitcoin and I go, hey, bro, that's a nice collateral stack you have there that I printed and gave to you. Oh, all these other people, they don't have your collateral stack here because you never printed money and give it to them. That's how the system works, by the way. That's why we're in crypto. To make a new system that'll implode one day. President Trump says he's very close to announcing more trade deals. Michael Chad Saylor says you can still buy Bitcoin for less than 0.2 million. So he's a good shiller, friends. He's a really good shiller. He's gonna get him in, brother. It's 0.1 million, bro. It's not even 0.2 million yet. It's coming. We're watching this in like real time. We're watching everyone. Oh, I can't believe it. Binance founder CZ. So my friend CZ, friends, he says, Bitcoin's easy. Just don't panic sell. I love this. Just, I'm telling you, just be careful of that first Bitcoin dominance crack. Just be careful of it. I'm trying to give us all edge. We're all thinking the same thing. You all want to be 100% Bitcoin. You all never want to touch an altcoin. What does that mean, friends? You know what that means? That means we have a lot of weak hands want to buy the dip on Bitcoin, right? A lot of weak hands. Just like imagine everybody does buy the dip and then like Ethereum has a shock move later. And then they're talking about yield and deflation. And then everyone's like, bro, what are you using Bitcoin for? There's no proper wallet support. It's slow. There's no privacy. You don't even have like literally no privacy, human rights solutions, nothing. You can't even do swapping. And there'll be alt seasons going on. You can't promise shit. You got to bridge you out of it anyway, right? Yeah, that just messes with your head. And then you realize you're a weak hand because you want to go participate in other stuff. Or Bitcoin, we got JPEGs. Yay. Friends, one day you will thank me in a very large way, okay? Because to have this confidence to bet on humans, okay, I know it looks easy on a chart, bro. It ain't easy when you got Michael Chad Saylor saying $13 million Bitcoin. Just remember these things in your head, bro. And I'm saying bullshit. Just remember that. Remember that when the time comes. Treasury Secretary Besant says crypto needs US leadership to thrive globally. Also, big news as well, friends. The US federal regulator, so there's this video I watched. It's as African-American dude. He says, I should have played a video, but it's a bit boring, goes for about a minute. He basically said regulated banks, you can now custody crypto. So customers, you can now give them your Bitcoin and Ethereum to the banks. Don't do it, but you can, and they can custody it for you. And they can also buy and sell for you. So it's starting. Do you remember, friends, this was always this should be the biggest, this is the biggest slept on thing in crypto. Everybody in crypto should be talking about how important that is. We've now gotten the US regulators to merge crypto, right? Crackhead meth land and allow it into the banks. Now that you have it there, man, that literally is creating the first link of people considering it in their portfolio. Okay, that's literally right now it's an illiquid ramp. It's kind of like, like when we're in that off island, you can't just go catch a normal plane. There's no airport there. You know, you got to go catch this little dingy boat. The guy's literally one of those skeletons that's taking you. You know, you're getting purged out here, and there's freaking, you know what I mean? Like there's the Cerebrus is like swimming in the pond as well. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of weird stuff, and there's like a hazy, misty pond. Then we finally get to Crypto Crackhead Island. Yeah, that's what it is right now. So this thing's kind of like showing you the big adoption stuff coming. We are getting later in crypto, but because, you know, let's get a big thrust first. Former Celsius CEO Alex Mashinsky sentenced to 12 years for crypto fraud. If you remember, friends, from Celsius. And the last time most people of Hexagons heard of him, he just was on video calling Richard Hart a scammer, which is what happened. Here he is walking through. There's some parts in here where he's crying. Yes, he goes at they close with Mashinsky's life. He cries. Multiple points of jump. The judge jumped in to reel back what the defense was saying. Mashinsky's lawyer says 15 years in prison would not be merciful and would be a slow death in prison. He highlighted Mashinsky has done charitable acts, including hiring a homeless woman. Mashinsky at this point is doubled over, crying. SBF never cried, Sky puts. Mashinsky gets ready to offer his defense after about an hour and a half. He starts crying. The judge asks if he needs a minute. He says, no, all the actions I took were to protect my community and I failed. He starts sobbing. After collecting himself, Mashinsky says he wanted to create Celsius to service people. My false statements were inexcusable. And everyone here, Hex Teddy, effing crook, talk poop about Richard Hart is actually one of the true good actors. So, friends, if you really want to know what like all of these things, that there is the line you cross. Okay, they're called the commingling part. All of it, it's because of yield. Okay, that's what it is. The whole problem comes with yield. You want to know why? Because the yield is you advertise a number, that's now your KPI to the world. You go, we offer you 8% yield. That's what happens. So now, that's the dangerous part about these things. We give you, they're like, oh, that means even if something's like really risky, you will risk the whole stack just to make 8% yield because that's what you advertised. Now you see the incentives now. There's a problem, right? You're like, whoa, you're willing to say, they never tell you this. They go, no, we don't take infinite risk, but that's humans, friends. That's what happens, right? Because they're advertising 8%, they will take infinite risk just to get the 8%. And then things blow up eventually. If you're risking 100 units of your portfolio to make 8, you're going to get away with it once or twice. It ain't going to work forever. Eventually you're going to lose. You know, you'll lose a lot more before you win 15 times. A lot more frequently. That's how these things blew up. So you can prevent this. You can't stop human greed, but you can prevent this. You have self-custody. Don't give these anyone new exchanges. Don't chase yield anywhere. Absolutely do not do that. And yes, Alex Mashinsky events, he lost it was $7 billion. And yeah, look, to be honest, if they didn't force them to sell, they'd be doing great now. That's it. That's markets, bro. If they didn't force him to sell. Same as SBF, by the way. If we just didn't force them to sell. Friends, I still remember, okay. Right here, man, this is giving me nightmares. I still remember, if you want to know who was gapping down Ethereum down here, this was back in 2022, June. It was Celsius and 3 Arrows Capital. All right, they were down here. They were the ones, everybody was like capitulating and then see this big gap here and then pretty much it was game over. See, it doesn't look that bad on a daily chart, does it? Like, oh, wow, we just like this, the chart just like went down. It just looked like it, but this is literally, this is altcoins dropping freaking 99%, man. So yeah, that was it. That was actually him. That was them getting out here. And then obviously they we run out of sellers. It was just them selling up here. And they had actually, I remember at Bitcoin, this is what was really scary. Okay. They were like using one part of the customers to pay off the other part. That's why it was very unfortunate. I remember even Bitboy, he had like $8 million on them or something. Somebody did like, like $2 million. And his position was going to get liquidated because he was borrowing them. And he didn't know what to do. He's like, shit, do I put money into the Ponzi to save my thing? Or do I not do anything? A lot of people had to go through that. And then obviously, look, no one knew what to do. But the right thing to do was just let it get liquidated because you weren't getting your money anyway. Because they just didn't know what was happening. But I remember down here, this is when Celsius was basically liquidating. They still had, I think, friends, I was really freaking scared. They had a giant Ethereum liquidation, I think at 800. Okay, it was 800. It used to be like 1200 and they paid it off down and it went to 800. And also wrapped Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, it was, I remember Bitcoin's like 15,000, I'll show you. It was right here, man. Bitcoin, I remember right here, friends. They were 18, so it was 18,000. I think their liquidation was something like 14. All right. It was literally 14. You gotta understand, man, how scary it was. I remember we woke up, this is FTX went under and it was just doing this. And like they had the giant liquidation. That was like, oh, everyone was so scared. And I was like, man, I think it's over. I think it's about, I was just, it was such a tough time, man. And here we are all these years back. So please remember these stories because, and that's why you're all in long now. You will thank me later on when you tip me with 1 Ethereum, as everybody's going to do kindly after you make money, not before. Okay. You tip me with 1 Ethereum. You're going to thank me. You're like, you know what, Sommi? I wanted to kill everyone around me and even innocent puppies sometimes. Luckily, we bet more than we can afford to lose with spot during the bear because at some point, friends, that Michael Saylor dream, it would eventually become a Michael Saylor nightmare. Something like that happens, okay? And you'll see all of that, right? So we're still building up into that moment. Where to from here? Well, here we go, friends. The Bitcoin price, 2 trillion market cap. We've actually flipped Amazon. We've actually flipped it as we go up a bit. That's amazing, right? Then we got to flip Nvidia and Apple. By the way, to flip Apple, Tim Crapple, we need 150K BTC. So every 50K increment is about 1 trillion market cap. All right. If we want to flip Microsoft, we've got about 180K BTC. I think it'll be awesome, bro. I think it'll be nice if we see number 1 and number 2 gold and BTC. So where to from here? What to expect in the bull market? Well, there's a lot of coins, friends. Obviously, there's a lot of coins and everyone's trying to get attention. So if you're living crypto, just remember you're going to see some hail hit this stuff, right? But don't take it personally, man. Just don't take it personally. Kanye and stuff like you're going to see some hail Hitler things. So what I mean by don't take it personally, we got to remember, friends, we live in an attention economy now. Attention economy, okay? It's not products and services on the internet, okay? Because why? Because in crypto, everything's open source. So if everything's open source, it means if you've got a good idea, someone else can just steal it. And they often do. In crypto, it's open source. That's the whole thing, right? So it's all about the network. Well, what's a network? It's a group of people. Okay, how do you keep a group of people there? Well, what they do in the real world is they point a gun to your head. And they go, guess what? This piece of land? We have your passport. You can't leave. That's what the government does, right? There's a passport and stuff out here. They make it very, very hard. Oh, and you need to sign these papers. Oh, you need to pay us money, okay? You can't leave. Okay, but what if this piece of land lived on the internet? That's crypto. So we have an attention economy. We have digital cyberspace country land. Okay, anybody is free to come and go as they choose. So everybody has to yell with a very loud megaphone. Okay, we have the memes, cults, religions, archetype. We're trying to share commonalities. That's why Richard Hart as well, he infused freedom of speech, freedom of movement, American Constitution stuff into the chain because it's very generic and worldly, right? That's pretty cool. So you're going to see people try everything to get attention, okay? And I know if you're from the boomer world where black and white TV, where you go, I give my children 4 cigarettes before school today, that type of stuff back when the doctors are telling you basically, like go get a lobotomy at your local doctor today, that stuff. If you're that old, okay, you don't like what you're seeing, yeah? Because you used to listen to one box and the one box would control you. They go, this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. The president, JFK, definitely no Coconut Intelligence Agency involvement. Okay, move along, sheep. That's the world you're used to, okay? The world that now exists, okay, it's open. It's open world, open source. It's like literally GTA 6 that's coming out, friends. You ever play Grand Theft Auto? Literally open sandbox. That's the new world, okay? So if you can't adapt to it, well, that's why you watch me, the highest value content in crypto. Like, subscribe, Billy Button, or catch you soon.